Let me pull it up here.
Yeah, it's not in the trash.
I apologize, guys.
Trust me, don't put lights in the trash.
Okay, we're live.
Because it really affected PCC.
And I have been,
Oh, she texted me that. Oh,
very
good.
vigilant.
We
about
didn't
that.
do it though, did we?
Yes, I see where I did
What?
my BCC wrong. I'm gonna do it right now.
Oh, I don't guess. I told her.
Ready to call the meeting to order. Got all the aldermen here. We've got Alderwoman Kim Stringer via telephone from Mickey Mouse Land. And so we've got our attorney Rocky Eaton, clerk Melissa Martin. If we could get Alderman Mike Lott to lead us in the prayer and the pledge.
Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for your love for us. We thank you that you're always with us. That you never leave us alone. Lord, help us remember because you are, and help us remember what we say, what we do, that it be pleasing to you. Tonight's meeting, the same thing, Lord. May what we do be beneficial for this city, but most of all, pleasing to you. In Jesus' name I pray. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take a look at the right agenda.
I don't know if you do. Did you print it?
Printed out one that you said something about fire department.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, I need a motion to adopt the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a motion to adopt the consent agendas numbers 1 through 5?
Actually, we never got a resignation on Wilson, so we need to terminate.
I
Yeah.
said that right, though. I said 1 through 5.
Well, I don't know what the numbers are, but that needs to change to termination.
Oh.
Be under the consent.
Not really. Mm-mm.
You said not in the,
I mean, you can, I guess, but
you want to move, we'll move it out of there. We'll move 6 to proclamations and resolutions,
no general business.
general business, wherever you're at. You know, you sent out 3 of these.
So
I know.
motion to approve items 1 through 5.
Yeah, 1 through 5.
Second. Move.
Yeah, move 6 to general business. Okay, got a motion, got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All righty, any public comment?
Okay, tomorrow, hello from the Kettle Area Chamber of Commerce. Tomorrow is the big event and super excited about it. I had a hiccup this morning. The speaker's plane got canceled out of New Orleans, but we got him routed through Jackson, so he's coming. He's going to be here. It's going to be super amazing and just super excited about that. Now, Mayor, do you have for the city, if you could give us a head count by
We're going to do that anyway. I'm 1.
Yeah, be for sure 1. For Kim and
2 with you? 2 with you?
2, 3, 4, 5.
4.
he's going to Japan?
Okay.
7,
7, 8.
8. Well, and then Gerald will bring
Okay, so
9.
9.
9. Okay. All right, perfect. And then, you know, we are, again, we are sold out. Y'all might see my notes online. We are sold out, and the Civic Center is turning into literally before we actually had the nor'easter here and this big frozen tundra. We actually called it the Winter Wonderland and for the decor. And so it's nice again. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for the city for allowing Catherine and Josh and the folks there in the rec department to help us. I can't tell you how much that means to us. It takes a lot of work on our people, and thank you so much for that. Just want to commend the city for the great job you're doing on the projects that you've worked on and what you've accomplished. We're proud to be a Kettle a person here, and we're excited about the future. We are on the precipice of a great 2025. I would like to probably take my Christmas on the River / Riverside Christmas to a work session, if we could talk about that afterwards, and I have a lot of information and I didn't want to take up the time to do it right now.
Okay, anybody else sign up? We'll handle Jay when he,
Yeah, when
Comes
his
up.
stuff comes.
okay. Proclamations and resolutions. Number 7, request to adopt a resolution authorizing submission of raise grant. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 8, request to adopt resolutions assessing the following property cleanups: 103 Griffith Drive, $1,384.32; Home Street, $205.16; and 147 West Second Avenue, $712.10. I take it the Home Street is up here on the corner.
It's that vacant lot.
Yeah.
Motion.
So discussion for a second. on
Yeah.
this one. These are the fees that we charge them after we've done the work, right? Or
Yes.
after we've been charged. And these fees come from Clearwater.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't,
Here's my concern is that we are paying Clearwater during their normal work hours to do this additional work.
Are doing that.
we're not actually paying.
Yeah, we're not
They
actually.
just give us an invoice for it.
Well, we get an invoice and the invoice is
We-
part of our, they're either doing this work for us or they're doing.
That work.
It's
It's
just like
sewer-
how the street
sewer.
department used to do it. The street department would type us up an invoice saying, this is the equipment we use, this is how many hours of labor it was, blah, blah, blah.
But I know it's also been hard getting them to do all the stuff we want them to do. So is it feasible that our building department can outsource this to a different contractor?
I think we've had that conversation before.
We have to-
And I don't mind revisiting it, but I think the problem is that when you go find somebody there, our stuff is so sporadic.
Well, I
They're
know
not
they
like-
had issues out of one of them.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we've got a gold mine here. They're going to give us 3 things 1 month and we won't hear from them for 9 months. I think it's the thing, but we could get more aggressive. Maybe if we had somebody that's all they did.
I'd say we got a great new code enforcement officer that,
Mhm.
is raring to go. And every time I've heard discussions that our Clearwater's got higher authorities to clean up some of these issues, these little things. So, I mean, I'd rather,
Yeah, it's a
Rather have them
nuisance. It's a
prioritize-
nuisance for
Yeah.
them, but it's a,
and let's be honest, most of our Clearwater guys are not doing lawn maintenance or vegetation control. It's our Parks and Recs guys doing it. So on top of that, so anytime if we can use that, maybe a different technique and off ramp that. We wouldn't have to go to bid if it's under $5,000, right?
Well, yeah, if
Well, these
it's,
are individual locations, so.
yeah.
But yeah, if we look at it once, maybe we can revisit it. But like I said, we got a great new guy down there. It's working hard. But one thing that I did hear back was it's hard for him to get assets because Clearwater is busy. I mean, so
Well, the only downside that I could think of this, and maybe I'm wrong, so I want to just say it, is if we were to contract this out to a third party, then we, as a city, would spend extra money, because what we're paying to Clearwater is not going to change. So we're going to spend extra money to a third party, and we won't always get this money back. It'll be put on the taxes, but it's somewhat contingent on when we get this back. I don't
If
really.
we get it back.
Yes. So I don't really have an opinion on this, and I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm just saying that that's one of the negatives that I could see is that we'll be out a little bit of extra money. But I mean, if it's important enough, it's important enough. So that's the only thing that I would raise.
he's trying to use the limited resources. of Clearwater.
That's what I was just thinking.
I need to go check.
Sure.
They're not doing specialities, not vacation control.
Yeah, I'll do it while Jay's.
We have plenty of lawn care companies in Pine Belt area that might take advantage. But anyway.
And say that real loud, the fire department's back there. I see Will writing something down now.
Bunch of red shirt guys out on the property now. But anyway,
We could get them to do it and not have to cost ourselves any money extra.
Well, we can get the guys to dress up in their air regulators and stuff, and just walk in there with a couple of crashers.
Training.
maybe I shouldn't have asked this discussion.
Did
Table discussion.
It's Drew's fault, Will.
we vote on that?
No,
Got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Bids and quotes, number 9, request to accept bid from Fairleigh Construction in the amount of $924,530.50 for Friendly Park Access Road per Shaw's Dearman and Waite's recommendation. Is there a motion? Is there a second? All in favor? Okay, no old business.
yes, the old business is the stormwater proposal.
I think that's just not, we need another term for that, don't we? No respect. Let's vote on this first now. I need to make sure we got this right before we let you turn you loose.
Does it mean I can start billing what you vote?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. If you just think about it, that's a billable hour. Request to accept proposal from Allen Engineering and Science for stormwater implementation for 2025. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now,
Okay, turn the meter on. All right, thank you, guys. Appreciate the opportunity to continue to serve the city of Petal in this capacity. My papers start flying all over the place. A couple of things real quick. In just a few minutes, you're going to also vote to accept your annual report for 2024, which is been prepared. And as always, this time of year, I like to give you guys, and I'm not going to go through this whole thing because y'all would run me out about 4 pages into it. So I'll just give you this. You can take a look at it. It's kind of the same thing that I generally talk to y'all about this time of year. As you know, City of Petal, like about 34 some odd other entities in the state of Mississippi, is under a permit from the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality for municipal stormwater. And you just voted to allow us to help continue to keep you in compliance with that permit for yet another year. Your compliance or your status for compliance is pretty good. Really, the biggest issues that we run into are what most municipalities run into. We occasionally have problems with sanitary sewer overflows where we have a wastewater issue, which is really more times than not just a function of aging infrastructure. Occasionally we'll run into a problem with a construction site where sediment is leaving the site, getting into a ditch or a creek, and occasionally Amy's group will have to issue a stop work order until that gets cleaned up. And those are really the major stormwater non-compliance issues that we run into in the city of Petal. Really, if you ride around and get to a bridge in town, crossing Greens Creek or Matthews Branch or one of your other streams in town, and you stop and you look down at the water in those streams, your water quality is really good here. Go over to Hattiesburg or another neighboring community and you look at water quality in those streams and sort of do a comparative analysis. Water in Petal in your streams and your surface water bodies looks pretty good. I would say, generally speaking, that we've got little to complain about in terms of water quality. And just for the public's benefit, we are not talking about the water that comes out of the faucet in your homes here. We're talking about water in streams and creeks and other surface water bodies in the city. The other thing I want to mention to you, and I'll give the caveat that Rocky cautioned me about when we talked a couple of weeks ago. I've been teasing you guys for a couple of years that MDEQ is likely very soon to be issuing a new statewide permit, which is the basis for your local permit. That is underway as we speak. The state of Mississippi is working on a new statewide permit. The good news is that we, Allen Engineering and Science, is writing that permit for the state of Mississippi. More specifically, yours truly is writing that permit for the state of Mississippi. Now, there's some caveats to that. The first phase of work that we're doing for you is actually writing the permit. We are about, probably 80% complete with that work for the state. Once we go through the process with them and it gets vetted by EPA and that permit becomes official, then we'll go into the next phase where we will engage with the local regulated entities such as the city of Pebble and let them know that, okay, you've got to develop a new local management plan, issue a notice of intent, submit that to the state for new permit coverage. Now, as Rocky and I have discussed, that obviously enters into the question of a conflict of interest because we represent the city of Pebble for compliance. What we will be able to develop your new management plan and submit your notice of intent. We will not be able to review that and make recommendations to the state in terms of, hey, this is ready for permit coverage. The state will actually enter into an agreement with another firm to review that once it's submitted. So that kind of deals with that conflict of interest issue. But we are writing that permit for the state. From a timeline perspective, our deadline to have this permit ready to go and to issue notices to the regulated entities is August of this year. So I would imagine that given the rapid nature of state and federal government, you'll probably be looking at writing a new management plan and submitting a notice of intent probably about this time next year, into spring of next year. So that's kind of where we stand on that. So bottom line is, you're in good shape on compliance right now. Your program's in good shape. Your water quality's in good shape. So we're going to continue doing what we've been doing. Just keep you in good compliance, standing with the state.
Cool. Any questions?
Jay, does this qualify as our training for next year?
Yes, sir.
No. I'd have to just, let me get a chance to review this packet.
And
The
anytime,
reason I say this is a board decision, this is a decision-making board, not a, we usually don't try to do training at the board session. So in the future, we have one session right after this, but I know we have Wednesday night, so in the future, we do this training, an actual training environment, not a decision.
yeah, and we can do that however you want to. Most of our clients, which we represent, I think 6 local governments in Mississippi, and we kind of chalk this down to training. Most of them want to do it in a board session.
Well,
And
I'll leave it up to the board, but if I can have access to you to go over this.
if you guys ever want to do it in a work session or in any other venue, I'm more than happy to accommodate.
Well, I'd just like to reserve the right to come back and hit you up. on it.
Absolutely.
I had a chance to go through your training slide.
Sure. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
More than happy.
I'm a slow reader.
Appreciate the time that you spent with Clearwater as well, getting those folks in line. They said they got some good information out of that.
Yeah.
And beating and keeping this in shape for us.
And Matt and I communicate on a regular basis, and Amy and I do as well. Anytime any issues come up, when the school district, when that contractor was in the process of getting a permit for the new school,
stuff.
there was a good bit of back and forth between our firm and them and their contractor to get that permit in place. So, the communication line's always open, and we do whatever needs to be done to make sure things continue to operate as smooth as possible.
Awesome. Appreciate you, brother.
And I'll hang out a minute because we got another item coming up for the annual report. in just a
In case they get a little squirrely on you. Number 11, request to pay estimate number 3 in the amount of $83,451.99 to Walters Constructions, Inc. for 2024 street overlay per Shaw's, Dimon and Waits recommendation. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I will add that got an update of them proceeding going forward. We are, looks like this will run us into March as we sit here today, obviously weather permitting. So we will get into, have to make a decision at some point on liquidated damages. Obviously, there's some leeway that we'll have to make sure we get a couple things done that we'd like to see get done as well. So just a heads up on that. This is for work that has been done. So it's we're not paying it forward. So anyway, number 12, request to accept annual stormwater report. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 13, request to set a hearing date of February 11th, 2025 at 6 PM for property located at 405 West Central Avenue. And I guess we may
There's
want to make a
405 and 404.
we may want to make a decision on this tonight. I get a motion, then we start having a conversation. Let me get a motion and a second for conversation.
Second for discussion.
Okay. Hey, we got some people for that property here, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, come on up.
Is this 404 and 405? I'm 404, they're 405. Okay.
Was it the same thing, but it's different?
Yeah.
Hey, what are we trying to do? Now, which side of the road are you on? Just so we can make sure we're on the map, we're all in the same spot.
Yeah, so there's the building there that has the 3 units, and then the fenced-in area right next to it is 405 West Central Avenue.
The left-hand side.
And this is one of the things I know I talked to a couple of us, to have this conversation tonight. Typically, there's a process that we go through, but there was actually some underlying decisions that we'd made in the past with another person that was going to do something similar to what you guys are going to do. So go ahead and tell us exactly what it is you want to accomplish over there.
Yeah, so we're just planning on opening a used car dealership. So fairly small operation. We'll probably to begin with have probably 6 to 7 cars on average. So fairly small operation. You know, we intend to reinvest profits, so we may grow over time. But yeah, and so essentially we're applying for the conditional use permit. Not sure what all that entails. So I guess whatever specifics you guys need.
Would you just be inside the fenced area right now?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, we don't have any plans to expand outside of that. So.
Okay. Any questions, guys?
It's already zoned for that due to the past business that tried to get there.
Yeah. And it just, that just never happened.
Additionally,
Yeah, we still got to give them. We still have to give them.
It's not zoned, or what is it zoned?
It's zone T2, but it's not zone. There for, it requires.
Any car, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely.
Any car dealership requires prior
Conditional use,
approval.
yeah.
remember the fence and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Supposed to do?
So the thinking was is
The
if we
fix,
did
didn't
not
it?
make them go through the board, if we already kind of had a framework of what we knew we would want to do, we could forego sending them through the planning commission, which is, obviously the board's right to do as well. Obviously, you guys have been going through this for a little while anyway, and are trying to get in business as quick as you can
Yes, sir.
as well.
All possible.
Okay. I forgot exactly what we wanted out of that last deal. I know we wanted him to spruce it up or something.
Yeah, fences, cleaning it up.
There was a very specific, the prior gentleman provided a layout, a schematic, a diagram design for beautification of that lot.
Lighting.
And lighting,
Yeah.
So, have you seen that?
Yeah, so the area is enclosed by fence.
No,
All
I
the
haven't
rooms,
seen
and
the
then-
predecessor, because we're getting ready to look at it, go back and say, hey, we approved something very similar. So the question is, have you seen what the predecessor had submitted to A&B Heath as a proposal?
No, sir. No,
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, one of the issues we supported that issue was they were beautifying that area. And besides just a chain link fence.
Mhm.
I see you've got a sign up, which is good, it's preemptive. But that was one of the things that really spoke to us about lighting, required lighting, required different type of fence. Because there was investment in the property to make it look,
Right.
as an entrance.
And there may be, and maybe it's something I'm misunderstanding from what, and of course, we're just kind of getting acquainted with Mr. Odom and everything, but what he told us was that a fence was required and exterior lighting, and both of those were added from what he's telling us. I mean, we have an exterior fence, and then we do have exterior lighting across the front that lights up the vehicles there in the front. He has electricity runs where there's outlets across the front. He has water run, and that was at least.
What are you going to do for an office space?
There's already a
Is
small.
there something there?
office
Okay. Didn't we also say we gave them a period of time to come into compliance for this, or it'd be revoked?
We get a vote 1 year,
Okay.
last time. Whenever you say that there's a fence, is it?
I think it's
because
chain
whenever we
link now.
spoke to
Yeah,
them-
it's a chain link.
It's
fence
chain link,
around
6-foot
the
chain,
perimeter.
chain link.
Yeah, the last time that we set it up, we had requested a wooden fence or something to block sight, if I'm correct.
Well, did we request all those things, or did he bring a proposal?
He
saying that
brought a
he was
proposal,
gonna do
and it
this?
was,
Okay.
right,
We said, that's a great idea.
So we agreed.
I don't think we really laid out this hard line, hey, you gotta do this.
So do we
Yeah,
carry
they
any of
proposed
that? How much of that do
I
we
mean,
carry
these
forward?
guys aren't the previous guy. They have nothing to do with him.
I agree, that's why, but we're getting ready to circumvent a board action process.
Hmm.
Again, if we're gonna rely upon something that I know I've seen in front of me, as a way to apply the location and all that.
Well, but you're looking at a business plan from a completely,
Well, I haven't seen the business plan from these gentlemen yet. All I've seen is they request a, conditional use.
yeah, but I don't know that we need to hold these guys to the same standard that the previous guy.
Yeah.
This is what y'all had last time. No predatory lending, no inoperable vehicles on the lot, maximum of 20 cars, and a limit of 1 year to get it all done per the plat provided.
We've already expanded them. You've already grown. Congratulations.
That was what y'all's stuff was on last time.
Provided a lighting scheme.
Yeah, I guess it was.
For that.
They had a site plan they had submitted.
Yeah, and that's only when we talk about this, that's exactly what I said. I would like to see.
Yeah. I would, yeah.
I mean, that's been.
And I think that was the idea, is that we've approved something similar to their request before. So if we could speed them up, I think
We're
that'd be a
dealing, we dealt with. this
business
before.
friendly.
No, I totally understand. I know these
You
things
know
have
what we're
long.
dealing with here? You have a signed contract with Jimmy.
We do not have a signed lease right now.
You should get.
Actually, Jimmy Dale's requesting this, right? On the,
Are you
on-
requesting or him?
I thought both were on there, or maybe Jimmy Dale just listed his own.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
listed as the owner. We
Yeah,
probably have to apply for conditional use in order to move in there.
the applicant actually thinks, the property owner is the applicant, last time I checked. When you do these things, you can't have a secondary person apply, because it's actually has to be on the street. I mean, you can speak on behalf of him, but the application you have before us is, you're the, regular,
Who's signed?
yeah.
Well, they've signed under applicant and they listed Jimmy Dale as the property owner.
Yeah. I'm not trying to put a gun, with the process. We're trying to circumvent it because we want business, we want something to go there.
You're the
If I
applicant.
might add something, one of the things we did last time is the special condition was given to the business, the people who want to work business, is my regulation, and not the property owner. And I think that there was a logic behind that.
Yeah, it says it was presented a list of improvements in a site plan for pedal auto sales.
Yeah, whatever marks y'all put out there and they don't hit them, a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever the number is, Randy will be heading over there putting up, shutting them down.
And more directly to the point, if they decide not to do this and leave, there should not be 20 cars there.
When did we take that?
Well, like there is.
March 11th,
Well, and
22.
that's-
March 11th.
No, and that's part of.
Yeah, or
Hope's
March
benefit is, we're moving in
15th.
cars that are prepared. to
22.
sell. They're gonna be,
That was our
ready to
meeting.
go. They're in good condition. He's moving the
You said we needed,
cars that are in disrepair out of there.
So you're paying
pretty simple.
a contract.
But he had provided us a site plan, what he was gonna do.
We can't, that's not our role.
I get that. That's part of the problem.
So, we had these conditions on the last one, and in part that was what that gentleman brought along. What conditions are we talking about now? Are we talking about the same ones? Talking about different?
Well, I will point out something that they said. Give me your car numbers again.
7 or 8.
I mean, I'm a fan of these guys already.
We can't.
They're willing to have numbers like that. Maybe we can get a little wiggle room there, but that's not 20 cars. I was a little upset at 20 cars last time. The numbers they're throwing at me sound very reasonable for that property. So I know that's not what you asked me.
That's part of it.
And to be clear, just from where we're coming from, I mean, it's in our best interest to keep that as sharp looking as possible, right? We spent the last weekend cleaning it up, going around picking up trash on both sides of the road, all the way to the railroad tracks. I mean, it's in our best interest to make it look as shiny and new as possible, So, whatever we can do to make sure that not just that area, but the surrounding area looks good and looks presentable, so business folks are in the pedal.
Are we carrying forward any of our old restrictions? I will say one that I have a question about, the fence that we were requiring, the wooden fence. doesn't make a whole bunch of sense if you're trying to.
It was wrought iron.
Like a raw iron.
Yeah, so
Well,
I think we did-
Okay, something that
Mhm.
can be seen through, at least advertise the cars is necessary for
on here.
that, so.
But again, though, I
Well, what
think
else,
that
what
was,
what are we carrying?
I think that was more of his.
That was his, but we still required it. That's a part of the,
Yeah.
a part of the business. Well, we said that we were going to take away his conditional use if he didn't fulfill it, so we required it. But on that, what are we carrying forward? Like, what are we
I don't
actually
know
saying?
if it would.
Well, there was a fence there when the first applicant applied. Yeah. And one of the things that was brought up was we wanted to beautify the entrances to our city, east, west, south, north. And that was what was really intriguing, and was really like, hey, we'll go forward, because like I said, we don't have to have car lots on every entrance, side entrance. We're getting ready to have a second one across. Next request is. So, I mean, so that's the kind of, where we got to balance and ponder, like, we're not there to determine winners, losers, we're there to set the conditions, let you guys, and make money for the city. You do well. But part of that beautification was, that's really appealed to me personally. Because your business practices, your contract, that's below us. We don't see any of that.
Sure.
But that's what really, again, it was the other guy's proposal, but again, part of it is about, we do conditional uses based on the location and the impact of the area, needs, and I'm gonna rely a lot on this guy, because that's his ward, right? So he should, he knows more better than I do. But that's one of the things when we talk about beautification overall, and that was what reason why I'm changing the thing was like, the other guys are gonna tear down, not the whole thing, but just the front portion. That's why I asked specifically, have you guys seen the proposal before? Because that would have been, if you want marketing to bring exactly that, I would probably say yes.
Couldn't we
Or without even, because
print that out and
it's
give it to them?
a different team.
I mean, that's just
Let
a
me just
site
tell you
plan.
that whatever that last,
So that's only, how we.
it wasn't in our packet. I just checked. So he brought it in.
Well, yeah, I have it here,
Oh, you
but
did?
because we had it as an
The case
exhibit.
that I would make there is just that,
Oh, so it's in the minute.
I mean, I don't know that we have
Can we
the
print it?
capital to
These
invest
guys?
in.
Yeah, I mean, good.
Maybe
print it out
that
and give it to
there
some of the
for
aldermen,
property
too.
we own,
Yeah.
but I think if it's not us moving in there, it's probably gonna just return to the state that it was in. And then maybe that's not, maybe that's not justification, but I think if it's not us putting new cars there, I think
I think personally, the previous guy that came to us, in my opinion, that was an extremely lofty goal and wishful thinking that it was going to happen to begin with. And
Don't
so,
do anything.
I don't know.
So,
I'm all, yeah, go ahead.
No, so, we've kind of been talking about what did this guy bring in? And I went and looked at our old packets that we get, with our agendas, and we didn't have the guy's proposal, the last applicant, that he brought that in on the day of the hearing. However, his proposal was attached to our minutes, so she just left to print out a copy for these guys and for all of you guys, so we can know specifically kind of what you want from these guys and maybe accelerate the process a little bit.
well, if we're talking about what's within y'all's capital for y'all moving in, then I would ask, what are your visions for this lot so that we can kind of set expectations there?
Well, I mean, there may be some things that we can do to repair it, but to be totally honest, looking at the other lots that are nearby, I mean, we viewed it as being in already better condition, or, having an exterior fence and exterior lighting, than what we saw, otherwise in Petal. So, nothing against anybody else for sure, but I mean, if there's minor repairs that we need to make, we can certainly do that. But I don't know that we've got the means to make any kind of overhaul in the way the property looks. So.
We are not looking to beach that.
Yeah.
I want to make money.
Needs
The
to
reason
be,
I
yeah.
want you to make money, my dad was a carpenter for a long time. The reason I want you to make money is so that you can reinvest and buy more cars and keep rolling. I understand how the car business works. You don't move cars, you don't make money.
Right.
You make a smaller percentage every time somebody comes in and beats you down.
That's right.
I understand how that works. So what I'd really like to see is the movement of the cars in and out, yourself. I want you to feel safe in what you got. Therefore, that's why I asked you earlier to do what you need to do. Don't think it's gonna happen. And if that doesn't happen, that puts you in a precarious situation.
Right.
Okay? Take care of yourself. Please do.
We we appreciate the feedback.
Who's gonna be financing your cars?
We are.
You're gonna do your own financing?
Yes, sir.
So it's in-
I'm sorry, financing for customers. We'll be pushing to local lenders.
You have those set up?
We do have, we have a partnership with Credit Acceptance, but we'll probably be pushing more towards local lenders like Century First and guys like that. So in our conversations with them, the guidance from the folks locally have been that the partnership isn't direct, that essentially if you send customers our way and we'll send them back.
And that's usually how it works in a small lot. Okay, I just want you turning and burning cars,
Yes, sir.
make yourself reputable, and protect yourself. We want you here for the long term, unlike somebody else that walked in and walked out and fails.
Absolutely.
You have your privilege license, have you applied for your privilege license yet?
Oh, yeah, we're all good. The license is good to go.
Okay. That's hard line, man. Car sales is a hard line.
We're hoping. We'll see.
Three of them or two of you?
Just two of us. Yeah.
All righty, what, do we want to change our motion? What do we want to do?
What
Currently on the table is just setting a hearing date.
Greg, you know, I can see this property from my back porch. I'm 100% for it.
Well, I mean, look, I wanna, you know, when we talk about, you know, housing variances that we issue and things like that, one of the biggest things that we take into account is the surrounding area, the condition of the neighborhood, what's the integrity of the area that's going in. And I hate if we get kind of hung up on, you know, we're trying to force these guys to make this look like a Highway 98 car lot and where it is. And I'm all for beautification of our entrances, but you know, something I said way back when we talked to the previous guy, when we talked about our downtown area, things like that. Can that property, can that area, can that little lot, can it be addressed, spruced up, beautified? Absolutely. But that is a small fish in a giant pond in that whole area. That we have much bigger problems than somebody that's wanting to come in and actually run a business right there. And
I think
I feel like we may be kind of pushing a whole lot of resistance. Some of it may be directed at the property owner as opposed to the guys wanting to do the business there. I don't know. I just want.
I think I'm being misunderstood a little bit. My question is, last time we required these as a part of the conditional use. So even though the gentleman did come to us with this plan, we did require it, and we had our reasonings then. And now the conversation is, do we want to, I believe part of the conversation is, do we want to bypass the planning committee because we've done this similar thing before? And so my question is, what is it that we're requiring? I'm not asking for the world. What are we actually saying here? Is the limit 10 cars and that's where we're going to put it into it? Because if so, I'm happy to vote on that. But I just want to know what the actual words are. Or are we sending this to property?
If I may, I'm actually trying to help these guys. They don't know it just yet. I have the shop right beside them. And, Jimmy Odom owns half the pedals, everybody knows, has all those cars there. It's going to take me to move those cars. Some guys, they don't know it yet. But I'm not going to do the guys moving for you.
Gotcha.
I'm also trying to go for a car lot and right across the street from them because I'm basically tired of every weekend I come in five or six Ford either wrecked or just horrible pieces of crap in my lot. And then people just leave them, drop them, won't hear from them for days. And then I can't do anything with them. And, but next door, 927 Highway 11, Martinstone used to be back there, used to be the old meat place or whatever it was, something. There's 300 cars in that area. I've been in talks with Mr. Odom for months now, and I've got it back. I'm trying to open a salvage yard there of just crushing cars. Talked to Tony a little bit about it, and I know we'd have to do fencing and everything else. I'm trying to get Jimmy Dale on board to actually let me crush half of all that. Everybody knows Jimmy Dale doesn't want to crush anything, get rid of anything. I'm trying my hardest to. My thing is, the rest of the place, I was going to go to the very back of the property because I believe there's 22 acres I can work with right there. But problem is my backer we're putting in about 250 grand to get that started up. But I have to have, my main concern is I need all the cars. because I need all the room I can get. I personally have about 60 cars in the very, very back there, but I'm gonna crush them if I need to. And, but all the cars that they have, Jimmy Dale considers them to be nice cars. Jimmy Dale's prices is very high. So I'm trying to get him to transition to say, hey, look, we either move your cars or the cars that the 927 on the highway. I want to either just, he's never gonna sell his. It's on industrial right now. If I can't get him to move them, I'm gonna put their cars on their lot over there just to get them out of sight. We need to really make him say, hey, look, you need to put a higher fence to black, like paper stuff on the fence where you can't see, because it is an eyesore. And it's definitely, I've been dealing with that for 10 years now. And Jimmy don't pay to help fix him. Getting on fix comes out of your pocket. And it's kind of a pain in the butt. But I mean, I'm all for them guys going as well, but I agree. If you get Jimmy's cars away from there, they clean it up, I think it looks great. That's the same thing I'm about to try to propose as well. It's like, look, I'm tired of every day I come in, like the other day I came in, there's a side by side sitting in my parking lot. And a tow truck drops, and I don't even work on it. And then for 2 days, somebody, it sat there for 2 days for somebody to say, oh, hey, I dropped my side by side off. And it's just, I want to get away from the mechanic aspect of my side because for one, it's a drain. If I can do my shop as a car lot / service center for own cars, and I agree to say, hey, I could fix in one little area in the stores, whatever cars we're going to fix, put them in a nice clean area and just sell a few there on that lot. And then try to let these guys get Jimmy Dale's cars away from there. And another thing is you're also going to have to help me move an 18-wheeler trailer that Jimmy Dale set in front of my shop. I'm sure some of y'all seen it. It's an eyesore as well. But if,
So you understand the point I was trying to make.
yeah, and the biggest thing, I've been there for 11 years. I've been there for 11 years. I almost paid my parking lot out of pocket, I think 9 years ago, $22,000. And I wished I would have done it, but I refused to do it because I don't own the property. I've been to talk to Jennifer. I've been there long enough that I'm trying to, I want to buy that piece of property one day. I want to keep property next door. And I want to write a review from Jennifer. We're talking about that forever. But I can't spend my hard-earned money right now in the property not being mine. And I understand that everybody's like, hey, look, it looks like a brat coming in. I mean, realistically, it really does. But we fight the same battle I'm fighting. And the only thing I can do right now is honestly push everything that he's got, either 927 or at the house up there on the river. And but it just we're all fighting a common problem. But my thing is also people junk cars need to work on it. I refuse to do it. I'm trying to go from the service side of it to do a car lot because my main goal 2025 is the salvage yard this year. The car lot. But as far as the cars, I think I can help them spruce theirs up.
Skip the planning commission, and somebody needs to make a motion as to
And which
to give them a conditional use
he's actually
such as such.
I was talking to him and Brian, and I think we actually, some of his cars next to
We just need to bring
might
them.
do a U-bolt and part them out for best we can, and try to get them moving along. It's just, it's everybody, it's been eyesore for everyone, and yeah, and their little lot has cleaned up the lot, and
Okay, we beat this to death.
We either need a motion to,
Well, just a further discussion, because we have a situation where we have another item that has the exact same conditional request. And I think it'd be not acceptable to say yes to you, bypassing the process, and then no to you, you go back to the process, you go through the process. Yeah, that's just, we're not here to pick winners and losers, but
Can I counter that just a little bit, or I don't want to
no, well,
interrupt?
let me just get it. But I think they're so close together. And like I said, we've walked this lot. We know these are great locations for car lots. Selling viable, actual selling lots. And like I said, what we're just discussing, like how do we, the beautification, I know my esteemed colleagues, it's a great point. It's like, hey, but there's gotta be a starting point. And so some of this, I know you don't own the land. When you don't own the land, we just heard from Reagan, it's like, why throw money in something you don't own the land? That's what the other guy was going to do. He was going to put up his own equity to improve someone that he didn't own. He just rented. Again, you might not be there yet. Something about the discussion and say, hey, we trust you. We want you to be successful. I know you want that place to look nice. So, I mean, it's real about you improving it as you build, as you go along.
And that's absolutely it.
But the way I just recommend, and before I turn over to Gerald, was like, we need to consider both these. If they're either both go through, or they neither one of them go through. And we go ahead and approve the conditional use of both of them tonight. It would be my thought process, and I'll turn over to others.
I'm I feel what you're saying, and I really feel like following the process is the right thing, but I would throw out that we've gone through the process with Mr. Oldham already. We've done this, and we've said, we will agree to this. It's in writing, we have a picture of it, that that's something that is acceptable. It's already been through the system. And I will throw out that some of those things were here and requested. So I think we could tailor it somewhat, just within reason. This has gone through the process. Everyone has already agreed on this. We've agreed on this. And so Jimmy Odom has found a new set of people that's willing to pick up that torch. My one thing that I would request is that this very, these gentlemen.
I think that's,
Yep.
that makes sense. I mean,
I think that's what we did last
Same thing that
time.
we did
That's
last
what
time.
we used. If it goes somebody
We
else,
did, Greg.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We did it for pedal auto
Take it
sales.
out
We
2 months
didn't.
and Put it on.
And just if I could add one more thing, these guys have done a lot of other things in our city. I don't know if they're very professional. It's clean. It looks straight. This is not the first rodeo that they have others, businesses that have been successful in town.
Like, I think what you're ultimately getting.
People want the actual detail of what we're saying.
We're talking about, with the past guy, there was a 20-car limit, there was this kind of fence, there was this vegetation, that's what you're asking.
And if it's not that, like, just what are we asking for? And all right, so part of what we're asking for is the conditional use is tied to this business, not the property itself. The second thing that we're asking for is no more than, say, 10 cars.
15.
What can you financially afford? 10, 15, 20?
Oh, I think in the, I think
know
it's
what you can
building the 12. You know,
Okay.
and
15.
In fairness to the alderman, he said that he was uncomfortable with 15. So 15.
15 is fair. Yeah.
All right, so we got two things that we have said now. We have said business, not property, and we've said 15 cars max. What else is that the end of it?
I think everything else is.
Last time there was no inoperable vehicles on the lot.
No inoperable vehicles on the lot.
Which is really more directed towards the property.
Yeah.
When I look at this plan too, because it's just written here, it's not like it was a list, but it does appear that maybe one of the conditions was that this fence would be replaced with a cyclone fence.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a condition you want to make, but
No, because I don't want to put any more.
financial
And that's like
burdens.
capital
I want these guys to be
improvements to
successful right off.
something that's not their property.
Reinvest, buy more cars, sell more taxes paid to the city. That's what
Outside of the conditional use, yeah, anything that you can do to beautify that land, and not talking about y'all replacing upkeep, make it look good, do what you can. That's good for your business as well. Y'all know that. So yes, those are our three conditions. That's what we're voting on.
Well, the first one, we don't necessarily have to specify the traditional use, just go into the business.
I think we do. We
I mean, I'll put it in here, for you when you put it under your name, Cameron Graham, or do you have a business name?
Grandma says.
Graham Auto Sales.
This is going to be your primary income, right?
That's right. Well,
If the next
You're saying
business was before it's business,
Yeah.
it's still a use.
What else do you do?
I put in the day job. So he's gonna be running the day.
Okay. So it's the two of you making money off of it. You have every incentive to keep moving to do it right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So pretty much maximum of 15 cars in the lot, no inoperable.
All I care is about is
Mhm.
somebody's there, somebody's working the project. You're not going anywhere
Hmm.
else, shutting the doors for hours.
I'll second that.
That's right. And Cameron, we can make it required. We got a great little chamber of commerce.
Friday's her last day.
Thank you.
Can't take that. But this, before you get ambushed your way out.
My office.
Kristen said she was leaving at 11:30. I guess because she
Do
usually
do
leaves.
we have that report?
These guys should be surprised.
That's what I
Oh, I
thought.
can do 10.
Yes.
Each for house.
Well, I mean, I've got 15 cars, no inoperable vehicles. Was that the only two conditions?
Well, the discussion was to make it, apply to the business owner, not the property owner.
Yeah.
But it already does.
I have a motion to grant a conditional use for Graham Auto Sales at 405 West Central Avenue. No inoperable vehicles on the lot and a maximum of 15 vehicles.
I'd like to add one thing possible. last time we added a year for everything to be done. Now then, the business owner who proposed that was planning on doing a lot more, and we seemingly were holding him to that. So how long will it take for y'all to start this business, get the old cars out and get
They're
your,
waiting on us.
that's what I'm saying. How long will it take to get those cars out, get your cars on, be ready to go?
Not before tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to move as fast as possible. I mean, right now we have Mr. Odom is moving the vehicles. I mean, if it came down to it, we would come out of our own pocket if it was okay, if it took too long. So I mean, if that means, I would say 2 or 3 months probably at the most, and we would have.
To be up and operating?
Yeah.
How about this? Since last time we gave it a year, this time we give it 6 months.
I would agree.
You probably be well ahead of that, but this is still a conditional use. And if all these requirements aren't met within 6 months, we reserve the right to withdraw.
Well,
But we don't have any.
there's no requirement.
We're not
We're
putting
not.
anything on them.
What you're saying is we give you 6 months to get your business started.
Well, we actually specify new and operative vehicles. So if there, and this gives Randy Powell, our code enforcement, an opportunity. If we walk down there, there's a bunch of inoperative vehicles for months or,
I mean, I get the cars.
it's a business practice. at that point. I don't expect it to happen. Because you might bring somebody on and have to work on it, sure. But that is, we're gonna say, to revoke your business, your conditional use, if you put junk cars out there, or you have a landlord that asks you to put a bunch of cars out for you, and you're forced, you have to, then back, to appeal that.
That's part of the conditional use. That really is irrelevant about a timeline.
This is the same thing that we did last
No,
time.
now that we specify, we get part of year.
There's nothing for them to do other than get their car.
If they have inoperable
clean it.
vehicles, it doesn't matter if it's next week or 6 months or a year. We address it. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
So we'll pull their conditional, if they have an operative vehicle. We'll pull their conditional use, if they have an operative vehicle. Anytime, day 1 or day 30.
That's code.
Well, I mean, we,
Yeah, it's built in.
All right.
I find as long as we're willing to empower our employees, allow our executive branch to do so.
now, are you gonna go show up tomorrow on day 1 and pull it to draw a line in the sand, or are we gonna use some common business?
I don't do the day-to-day activities.
Just give them a stick and just keep tracking.
Because we're kind of drawing like, everything we're talking here, we're talking next one. So kind of like you walk through,
Did she?
What's that?
So the next guy.
Oh, I need to
You're
put that
helping her
in.
now.
Call her if she
So if we
needs
got those 3 in, or I'm fine about time limit for real. I mean, it's
I
additional.
mean, are we saying like for
I see what you're saying.
a month to get any unused, unoperable vehicles off of there? I mean,
That's gonna be on their,
6 months.
because that's Randy's code.
yeah.
Well, technically, they should be doing that right
Yeah,
now.
time
They're not
to hear
gonna
it.
do it. They're not gonna Randy should be able to do it. They could have done it, but we haven't, because we haven't had the.
And part of why we pulled last time was because he went over the year limit, and part of that was the
All of it.
vehicles that were left there. But if what we're saying is that we have that authority with whatever, then we don't need that, so that's fine.
But we had that tomorrow.
But we're gonna be pulling the executive order of I'm not enforcing this for 75 days that just got passed on the national level. So
Okay, we've got a motion and a second, I believe. I thought I heard.
Okay,
So you just
Sorry.
review what we're
it's
actually
okay.
approving.
Motion to grant a conditional use for Graham Auto Sales at 405 West Central Avenue with no inoperable vehicles on the lot and a maximum of 15 vehicles.
Who's the motions
They're
in the
going, they're
second?
going to independent.
I have Gerald and Blake as the motion in the second.
Okay. Motion and second, all in favor?
good luck, guys.
All right, that,
We absolutely did. We're hoping the best for this piece of property.
that was so fun. Let's do it again.
We want to do the property loss first. The next one is property loss for the fire department. Just get a motion in a second.
Okay, number 14. Request to dispose of 3 computers in the fire department assets number 2238, 2459, and 2460. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? All righty, now that was so much fun. Let's do it again. Number 15, request to set a hearing date of February 11th, 2025 at 6 p.m. for property located at 404 West Central Avenue. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there got a motion And a second, let's have a discussion.
Second for discussion.
Well, as y'all know, like 10 years ago, no one was there. I guess it's Martin Hood. It looked horrible. It's been looking pleasantly better over the past 10 years. Trying my best, trying again. I mean, I actually shut myself down numerous times. Just because the roof leaks so bad. But I don't know, I mean, if you guys grant them, I think we can all work together. Grant me, again, I'm trying to get away from the mechanical aspect of it. I've been there for 11 years. That location is not my main priority for 2025. My main priority is next door, but I'm hoping that this can keep my foothold in because Jimmy Dale, door's not open. He will be in there. Hey, where you at? What are you doing? He's just a busybody. He's always out riding around his little truck. So I think it's just a good way for me to get in there, sell a few cars as well. I'm trying to do, eight or so, 7 or 8, small scale, just because it's just me and I got 2 guys working with me. And, have to keep them busy, pay some bills, pay video rent, and then my main goal is, like I said, next door. That's basically it. I plan to work with these guys, have to get cleaned up. Work with you guys any way you can. One thing is, you need to get Randy over there to tell him the 18-wheeler trailer that he's trying to sell, apparently, behind my lot. But, yes.
Can you show me on the parcel map which plot we're talking about?
Yeah, 404, West Central, anything I own, the,
Right there on the corner, so building next to it.
yeah, it's literally,
Across the street from where you were just looking.
That's the one we're just.
okay, yeah, we're right here. Yeah, that curb is right there.
All right,
These
that's
be called-
the long one or this one?
No, the 4 bay white shop, all flats used to be it.
Yes.
But yeah, like I said, I'm looking at long term, and so I just want somebody to work with me because Jimmy Dale will not sell anything.
Nope.
His daughter will. And so I'm trying to buy a piece of property there and later on in life buy the property next door. And so I'm just gonna stay as long as I can. Without me being there, I'm sure he'll bring up some tow yards, some station mechanics, and he'll go right back to having crap.
So you're literally gonna have both buildings on the right side.
But well, yeah, I'm eventually. I mean, I'm not pulling the trigger on anything at 927 on the highway where the old meat place was. I'm not pulling the trigger on anything yet because I'm borrowing money. I'm borrowing a good bit to get started.
Okay.
But I want to do a salvage over there.
Okay.
And I want to do it in very, very back. But the only stipulations that it being, I want all his cars gone. I don't want any cars there. And I told him that I can move them personally, put them at the rivers where the rest of them are because there's 500 or 600 down there.
You know what you're dealing with.
I've been there 10 years. It's been a mess, but he's all gonna go for me to do a salvage yard next door, and I think like I said, just will be a good place to be able to just keep my foot in the door there, keep them happy, keep my guys busy over there. They can just be doing a little tinkering in the cars and getting ready to get cleaned up, and also just keep me from coming in on Monday morning and finding 4 piles of crap or wreck. We need to do bike work, and I get wrecked cars dropped off there. And people are like, oh yeah, I need an estimate on this, and it's just we don't even do that kind of work. And then just the repairs, people bring junk, and it looks bad. So I'm trying to wing that off to where all we do is just basically repair our own. And if I sell a few, I will repair a little bit, but you got to charge for that.
So what's the ask?
Just turn it to a car lot. A small scale car lot for me to run. It'd be like, I mean, tax season. I mean, max 12 because everything's going on my pocket. And granted, I will do a floor plan, I'm sure, but most of it's going on my pocket. But I plan on doing more because I work with a lot of Murphy Pace and then Scott Smith and like other in Hattiesburg. I do a lot of their servicing now. I see them guys make money and they don't know how to work on cars. I never meet my guys to work on cars. I feel like they make some good money and then sell nicer quality cars like Murphy does. You get somebody sitting around, sit there, keep it nice and clean, keep away from the 3 and 4 thousand cars. So just get it anyway. And just to make it look better. Because right now it just again, my main thing is I'm burning out on the mechanic shop because every Monday it's in just more stuff piling. And so
You're too young to have a bad back.
yeah,
And that'll do it.
So max of 12 cars
Yeah,
is
max
what you're
12 cars,
anticipating?
and I mean, because again, most of them need financed, and it's I'm really doing this to keep my foot in the door because my main focus, if I can get everything in order for.
First time.
2 rows of 6. Can you get that there comfortably?
Yeah, I mean, I could, but it'd probably look better broke up in 3 or 4, 3 rows of 4.
That's like however you want to do it.
But,
as long as you're
but-
pretty happy with it.
But my thing is okay as far as because on the corner, the city has a right of way because they're gonna do a 4-lane and everything. But on that corner, would you mind putting two or so there? And because we have where my building's at, there's an open lot. We do not have TT cars from the point, I finally got my limbs on, sure, sure. Where would you want me to put the cars?
You can't put that state property that's in your.
Yeah, and that's, what I say, but, cause I know I can't put there, but would you mind having, cause he can.
In that NDOT property right there.
It is.
At some
Well,
point,
it's-
yeah,
it's-
to get into there right away and
Cause Jimmy and I have, sometimes people park cars there already, and just, end up he'd have problems with, if a car could be sitting there and draw attention for him and bring him on in. Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes, because that is, not your land.
Yes.
And so you'd be using public land.
Yeah.
And so,
We can't get that.
I was gonna say, yeah, you can use this private property.
Yeah, and then,
Uh-huh.
The same thing, like using land like on a railroad.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you're not supposed to, that's the railroad land.
Yeah.
So, but they, again, we know also people drop cars off, so it's kind of, you're playing. Yeah, so your visibility, how you do your front light, that's gonna be your struggle.
yeah,
But I would recommend, I would like to not see land, state land or sea land used for private roads.
that's perfectly fine.
We can't, we could do it anyway.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, we're gonna get a phone call from the PD or
The state would
something,
come
or
down and slap.
NDOT will say
Is
something.
there any questions you guys have, any recommendations? Y'all know what I'm dealing with, y'all been dealing with, as long as I have, so, actually, one, but,
I heard some good things about your work, and like I said, you've actually beautified the building, so that's, anything you're gonna do, really, what do you guys do together as, when I say that entrance, that's more of our entrance. And then again, you guys can
Gonna address the inoperable vehicles. Is he still
Y'all-
working
y'all
as a
are more
garage?
operating than CVS.
it definitely looks better than the did here.
That's what they need to ask, because they need to know.
Hey, what's that
Hey,
motion gonna look like?
I'm
Just,
sorry.
hold on just a second, because we may have some additional questions. I mean, so are we putting the same restrictions on this guy that we did on the last guys? Which means he's limited to 15, and then the other guys had no inoperable vehicles. And I know you said this used to be a mechanic shop.
Because that's how I swung it with the state, because they had state combined spec. And I say, look, because I will be doing service on these, because I got $150,000 worth of equipment, $30,000 worth of tools and toolbox, and I hate to let them sit there. And honestly, so I'm going to do service on mine, and I'll do very, very light service on mine on something that we do sell on. But I'm just I'm trying to get away from it best I can, because
Okay, so
Yeah, I think what you're saying was, it's
so I
a
might
little different situation.
That's right.
because
he's gonna do some mechanicing.
Yeah.
So maybe then, I mean, this is up to you guys. Maybe there should be a restriction on the number of inoperable vehicles in consideration of the fact that this would be also a mechanic shop. And one way to do that might be no more than, this is just a supposed number, 2 inoperable vehicles per bay door.
yeah,
That was like, I was gonna say,
And I think that there is something that it regs about that.
yeah, so it's the same thing of, it's already in the rules, so we can enforce it when we need to.
Put what we got there and then issue the.
But that's something for you to know.
Yeah.
I think what's in our regulation. Okay.
You're here for that meeting, weren't you?
I was.
I think we're looking at that.
Correct.
We're all going.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just looking at your conditional use of the cars,
Also,
with whatever conditions we, just 15, no more 15 selling.
I don't think he could put more than 12 in there.
Eventually, if
Not
you
gonna
get
use the frontage, no.
yeah, if you get more land from Jimmy on the right side, that's the thing. If we can have you not have to come back and say, hey, I'm ready in 6 months. And
Yeah.
Go through the whole process. If you have to change your condition,
Yeah.
you have to go through the planning board process.
Yeah.
Okay, we come here, so let's plan for success.
Simple math says 3 more than 15, so 15.
So we're just gonna do a conditional use to allow vehicle sales with a maximum of 15 vehicles. And then the shop will just run under the regular shop ordinance.
How many-
We'll put all 2 deals right there. We'll
So you
sell
get
all
the
the
motion with.
Is it
Craig
saying,
and
you know,
Mike Lott.
Is your car registration self for permit to state underneath your
No, it's,
LLC? It's a different.
well, I'll be Trackside Motors because I'm about the track, but I actually hate the name. I done it just to try to hurt the process because we're tax season right now. And so I've done Trackside Motors LLC, and then I'll be changing and putting sign up for next.
Conditional use should be whatever is your actual.
Well, I just had it to his name,
Yeah.
Reagan
But,
Robertson, because that's what's on the thing.
I mean, I'll probably change it later. Just,
I like this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
I get it.
And you guys right came with problems behind you.
Okay, you are the member.
Okay.
I'm not.
We've got a, you good. We've got a motion, we've got a second, all in favor?
I do want to say, just for the record, that it is possible that Mr. Junior Geller is a Junior genius and just convince us to let them put 30 cars.
Great point. Duly noted.
He's very
Uh,
smart guy.
I would put prices on your cars because, most people won't stop because you know, it's way too high.
Well,
You don't have to be priced.
You can see it right.
Yeah.
Number 16, request to approve a revised EJC for parcels 1 and 2 for the Castle Woods Sewer Project. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so Drew had a question. When did the description change and why? And I thought I had circulated the answer, and I did not until he pointed it out. So you should have it now, but I'm going to read it to you because I sent it to our appraisal team as soon as I got your question. Then he says, the plans were revised at the request of the property owner. At the time of the acquisition offer back in June, the property owner requested that the site be moved slightly and was discussed with the engineer and city. City concurred and new plans were provided. That was the end of his response. And then the only thing I added to that to you guys was a requested change from a landowner that resulted in the change of a couple of $100 in the offer. Seems like a normal occurrence when purchasing parcels over time. Because I know that we went through this recently, you know, we've had a lot of back and forth with the store on the Matthews branch. This one just kind of seems like a minor change, but that's the answer that I had to your inquiry. Yeah.
Okay, got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Seminars and travel, number
Yep,
7.
we got to terminate Gabe Wilson.
Number 6. We are changing from resignation of G. Wilson to termination of G. Wilson in the fire department effective 1/21/25. Is there a second?
Second.
Got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Now, seminars and travel, number 17, request to approve the following in the fire department. TJ Burkhalter, Engine Company Operations, March 3rd through the 6th, 2025. Cost $310. Dylan Anglin, Fire Instructor 1, February 10th through the 13th, 2025. Cost $310. Here's the ones we really like. Joe Harrison, Funzar.
Not really fun.
I didn't think so. March 10th through the 14th, 2025. Total cost $0. And Bartley Faulkner will also have him some fun. At same dates, total cost $0. Timothy Brown, Confined Space Rescue, March 3rd through the 6th, 2025, total cost of $60. You wonder why they even bother. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Well, motion and second, all in favor? Number 18, request for Angel Dye to attend CMC program spring session on February 26th to the 28th in Hattiesburg. Total cost $300. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Number 19, request for Amy Heath and Randy Powell to attend MACE conference in Starkville, Mississippi, the 20th and 21st of February. Total cost of $720. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Orders and ordinances, request to hire Paige Martin in the water department at a rate of $13.50 per hour. And that will be on the 5th of February.
Second.
All in favor? 21, request to adopt an order promoting Jordan Marshall to lieutenant at a rate of 15.3133 per hour effective January 22nd.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Number 22, request to adopt an order transferring Bobby Oxner to 80-hour pay week or 80-hour pay period at a rate of 15.8653 per hour until he is released to full duty.
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty, that is all. You got anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I think that's all we've got. We'll have a motion to adjourn and then we'll have our work session. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Kim, do you want to stay on the phone for the work session? Or do you want to go do Disney stuff?
It's too cold to do Disney stuff.